102. Sexplosion is on Power 102. And now on new days and at new times, the country's most informative sex education program, Sexplosion, is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj, the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think that sex is totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts in the brain. The largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
Tune in for discussion on all sexual matters. Sexplosion on Power 102. Empowering you.
Talking about points, it is about 3 minutes past 7. This year, Thursday, 26th day of July 2018 at Power 102.1 FM. Sexplosion starts now with Dr. Raj. How you going, Doc?
Pleasant good evening.
Good evening to you, brother.
To all the viewers on Facebook, those of you on Instagram, and of course, those of you who are on radio. We can't forget the listeners on radio because they are an important part and integral part of who we are. We are about radio, theater of the mind. This is where we put our it is theater of the mind. You listen to whatever we're saying and you conjure up your own description in your mind, and you know, some of them, they listen to your voice and they say, that's what he looks like. And they're mine. The same thing with the information, you know, it's important to give correct, accurate information while you're on the radio. So that's what we strive to do at Power 102. To inform, entertain, and educate. Education is very important.
Very, especially in these times.
In these times, and especially with our topic. You know, our topic transcends not only the act of intercourse, transcends from time you are thinking about it. It could be at whatever age you have had the feelings for sex, you got the knowledge for sex, you heard something sexual, and that's where it starts building. Remember, we have building blocks in our brain. When you hear something, when you see something, there is a pathway that opens up in your mind and starts developing. How you feed that pathway is very important. And one of the things that is happening in our society today is that we feed certain pathways with false information and false news. And we feed it with so much of false information and false news that we think it's the truth. And that's where the problem comes in. When we start thinking that the things that we hear or the things that we read about, it is the truth. And it may not be so, especially with things that are sexual. And we look at entertainment, just as you watch a movie, and you will see a movie, a man bending a bullet, which cannot be done. There is no way you can shoot a bullet out of a gun and it's going to bend. The only way it bends is downwards, because after a while gravity pulls it down. That's it. It's not going to bend around a post. It's not going to bend around a building. So when you see guys doing that in movies, it's in the movie. It's not going to happen in real. Well, right. So it's the same thing when you look at porn. It's entertainment. It's not real. It's not what you see it to be. It's not what you think it is. And many a times I have to explain that to people. When you see someone going on and on and on, it's not that person going on and on. It might be 3 or 4 takes. But the splicing and the editing is so good, you can't tell. Absolutely can't tell. Of course, if you look for certain things, you'll see it. It's like I was watching a movie last night, and the guy was shot. He slumped to his left. You saw the blood splat on the left. And later on in the movie, he had a bandage on his right side. So I told my wife, I said, he was not shot on the right. So I rewinded the movie and I showed her. I said, look at this. Because I pick up those things. Because I don't look for it, but certain things remain in your mind. And for time you see the difference, is like, oh my God, who is doing this? So sometimes they change the shirt. But it's the same thing with porn, you know. It's entertainment. It's not what you see. I have been on many sets, and I've seen people do certain things. And I've seen how the actors behave, the actresses, well, I call them talent. How the talents behave, how the fluffers behave. The fluffers are the one who are actually doing all the work. And it's not what the final product is. But that's not what we're here to talk about tonight. We're here to talk about tonight about nutrition. Nutrition in all its form, nutrition in the way it should be used to develop you as a young man, a young woman, the importance of nutrition. And I think last week, Thursday, we mentioned the importance of breakfast. And you were saying about your breakfast, and I was talking about the importance of having a good breakfast. And when you think about physical development, mental development, nutrition comes in here. You need those things to function properly. Lots of times, when you have someone with an erectile dysfunction, a sexual dysfunction, one of the root causes of their sexual dysfunction might be nutrition. Poor nutrition, bad choices. And when we talk about nutrition, nutrition includes food and beverages. And if you're putting something that is not going to be beneficial to you in the form of food, it's going to react with your body. So your body is going to react to those bad foods going into the system. Same thing with beverages. If you constantly put bad beverages into your system, and we know what bad beverages are, alcohol for example, sugary drinks, your body is going to react to that and you're going to have a breakdown somewhere along the line. So you must be prepared that the bad things that you're doing at a young age, and I have seen many young persons, I mean really young persons, eating badly. And I'm wondering if their parents don't think about the ramifications of these things. When you give a child certain things to eat, certain snacks, what are you really creating? You are creating a problem, a health problem. Now, one of the things with health is not only what you eat, it's peace of mind. Being calm, being contented, being happy. A lot of times you have a job or you have to go to school and you're stressed out by it. How could you learn if when you're going to school you don't want to be in school? What's going to happen? You are not going to pay attention. You are not going to be focused on what you're supposed to be focused on. If your intention is to get home as quickly as possible to put on the television or watch porn or do whatever, masturbate, you are not going to focus on what is taking place in front of you. You're only thinking about what you're going to do later. So nutrition ties in also with behavior. Sometimes the foods that we eat will make us sluggish, tired, not want to stay up and listen to anything. Sometimes the snacks, because we get a sugar rush at a particular time during the day. Later on, our body goes down, everything drops, and you're wondering, well, why am I feeling sluggish and tired? It's because of the poor nutrition you have had. So it's good to, at a young age, to start thinking along those lines. What are the things that I should be eating as a person for my overall development, mental and physical? What are the important ingredients that have to go into my body for me to be a healthy individual? Am I going to be putting junk in my body? And some persons will say, well, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But it's not that, You see, when you are young, we have a death wish. And I notice that with all the young people I encounter. They don't care what happens to them. They don't care when they die. They don't care anything like that. And that is because it is something that young people go through. Because you know what? One of the things that they think, that nothing is going to happen to me.
Yes, exactly.
So they'll drive reckless, they'll live reckless, they'll eat reckless, they'll do reckless things. And that comes with youth. But I keep telling them, as you mature and you become a different individual, you'll realize all those foolish things that you used to do, you now are paying for it. I'll give you an example. Most guys, I don't know if they do it now, used to open soft drinks with their teeth as a means of showing macho-ness. I am macho, so I will open a soft drink. You know what that will lead to? Cracked tooth, chipped enamel, and the dentist. What have you done for yourself? Nothing but made yourself a fool. But you'll do it because you want to be macho. But it's not something that should be done. So when you're young, you're thinking along the lines that I need to prove myself in a particular way. So you're proving yourself. And again, I'm not condemning the youth. I'm telling you those are the things that you do. But if you are aware of the things that can happen to you negatively, you may not do it, or you may not want to do it, because you're going to realize that, hey, this is not going to impact on me positively later on in life. So when somebody tells you that they could drink a bottle of rum and they can lime whole night, well, anybody could do that. But is it the wisest thing to do?
Nutrition is the nice way to determine as to how we should arrange our diet and all of that. But you know,
Structure ourselves.
yeah, but I mean, back in the day, we had a certain way of eating, you know, grandparents, and that kind of traditional style of living back in the day could have afforded you to have a decent diet.
Yeah, but we don't have
now,
that.
With all these residential areas that are being developed, you see them take them a lot of forest areas and stuff, areas that has a lot of flora and fauna and things, and they put up concrete jungles and stuff, and the young people, as a matter of fact, they have no kind of well, not all of them are cultured into trying to plant something out, so they buy things. Yeah, but, buying things these days, if you look at social media, a whole heap of things are plastic, a whole heap of things are fake, like Donald Trump would say.
Well, it is fake. A lot of things are fake.
you sure
But even the foods that you buy, most of it are man-made.
Processed food.
Processed food. That's what I mean by processed food, you know.
Yeah.
When they tell you processed food, it's man-made. It's not real.
Yeah.
It's not what it's supposed to be. So you do consume a lot of that. But what I'm talking about is nutrition. If you think about nutrition properly, there are certain things that you can eliminate from your diet that's going to be beneficial to you in the long run. And sometimes elimination does not mean to say total elimination, you know. But you don't overindulge. You just don't overindulge. If you overindulge in certain things that are negatively going to impact on your body, that's what's going to happen. So you have to, we can't go back to the old time days.
No, I know, but
Right?
there are some people even up to today, Raj, who I mean, they live in so kind of way below the poverty line. You know, they might be eating like, I'm not trying to point finger at anybody. If I get to that position, I will do the same. You eating like flour or food with a lot of carbs, like, you know, bake and bread and salad roti and this and every morning. You know, you have like that's the option. You know, to make sure that you put something in the system for the day. So how? Well, those people are really highly affected back as time goes on. I'm not really talking about going back to the old time days. I see it happening now. I see people rise sometime in the morning. We start the day with a monster.
Yeah.
And
But that's the worst thing that you can do.
You know?
No, but that's the worst thing that you can do, because you're starting yourself with an energy drink that has high sugar content and high caffeine content. Sugar is not going to do anything positive to your body. Caffeine is not going to do anything positive to your body. So what you're doing, you're poisoning yourself. Why can't you start the day with something different? It's like the person who says, I cannot start my day without a cup of coffee. So what you're saying is that you are dependent on a cup of coffee to go through a day. So you're addicted to something. You're totally addicted to that. If you need something to start your day, when all you have to do, you're supposed to do is to wake up in the morning and get going. A hot cup of water should be good enough. But no.
Drinking a glass of water as soon as I can.
But what
Sometime
happens
before I
to
go to
us?
sleep.
We develop these bad habits. We develop these bad habits and we tell ourselves we cannot survive without it. Now let's say that same person, as you say, has to have a cup of coffee or a Monster or whatever, an energy drink in the morning, is placed in a situation where they cannot have that. What are they going to do? Die?
Good question.
They're not going to die. No. The human capacity to live and survive is greater than what we think. If you are placed in a situation where you cannot have a cup of coffee or energy drink first thing in the morning, you are still going to survive. You're going to have withdrawal symptoms. You're going to be miserable for 2 and 3 days. Not going to feel like yourself for a couple of days, maybe even a week, maybe even a month. But you're eventually going to get over it. Ask anyone who wakes up every single morning and pulls a cigarette and smoke it first thing before they get off the bed. And don't tell me there aren't individuals like that.
Yes, they are.
There are persons who cannot get off the bed unless they smoke a cigarette. And those very same persons, when they stop smoking, they get miserable, they get sick, all kind of things happen to them. They don't die. And eventually they get over their addiction. And when they wake up in the morning, they don't need a cigarette anymore. We build addiction in ourselves. We build routine within ourselves. If you are accustomed every morning at 5 o'clock waking up, and we went through that last week, you are going to get up at 5 o'clock every morning regardless.
Yeah.
It's going to happen to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Regardless of what you do, it's going to happen. So if you wake up every morning and you tell yourself, I must have something, whatever that something is, but if that something is not good for you, and my point is what you put into your system. I'm not saying don't have a roti, but if you're accustomed eating a whole roti, why you can't cut down to half? If it's not working well for you, if it's not going to be beneficial to you, if you cannot eat if you got to have something in the morning, watch the things that let me tell you why I'm saying this. The bad things you put into your system is going to cost you later on in medical bills. That's where it's going to cost you.
Exactly.
And a lot of times, individuals will come to me, come to the clinic, come to the adult therapy clinic in St. Augustine, with bad habits. And when you tell them about changing their habits, they'll tell you, no, they can't do it. I said, well, just be prepared to be coming here all the time. Because you have developed bad habits. And unless you change your habits, you're not going to fix your problem.
That's true.
You are not going to fix your problem. That's why a sportsman, when he starts training, he goes on a regime of training. But he also has to change his diet. But the point I wanted to make here is there are lots of things that you can supplement your meals with. Supplementation is also important. And supplementation comes itself in vegetables, fruits, green leafy vegetables, nuts. Those are supplements. They are actual supplements that you can buy. Well, of course, if you're talking about the individuals who can't afford it, why can't that individual... Oh, you know the funny thing about it, what you say? Those same persons that you talk about living below the poverty line, if you go to visit them and you carry a bag of orange for them, they might pelt you with it. Yeah. But carry an apple for them. And they'll embrace the apple. You know why? The apple has status. It's a status symbol. The orange don't. You say, what, you feel a poor, you bring an orange for me, you bring a banana for me. I look like a monkey. That's the first thing they'll tell you, you know. And that's serious, you know. That very same person who cannot afford a meal, who cannot afford to go and buy fruit, if you carry a banana for them, they'll watch you, they'll insult you. But if you carry an exotic fruit, something that is imported, because it has status, they'll embrace it. They mightn't like it, but they'll say, ah boy, I get a pear, I get an apple, I get grapes. I get a bunch of grapes. Why? Because of status, not because of what it's going to do for them. So that same person will reject walk. You know, I saw something in Miami 2 days ago. Fort Lauderdale. Driving down Davie Boulevard. I saw a guy on the side of the road pelting mango. Pelting mango. And I stopped and I looked at him and I said, he have to be a West Indian.
Yeah.
I said, there's no way he's an American.
Yeah, so true.
There's a mango growing on the side of the road. This is on Davie Boulevard. For those of you who don't know it, is a busy road. A busy road. And between Riverside, Riverland Road and 31st Avenue, he's pelting a mango tree and licking on mango, and as it falls, he pick it up and suck it. And I actually stopped and looked at it. I said, you wouldn't see this anywhere else.
Exactly.
It's not something you'll see in the United States. But if somebody should tell a young person today, when you're going on the road, you ever pelt a mango from a tree? They'll tell you, what?
Yeah.
You're mad? Them are doing that. If a mango fall on the ground, them looking for the standpipe to watch that. What we used to do? Wipe it on my pants and we gone.
Of course, so just rub it in your hands.
Yeah. That was good enough.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying with the changing times, people's pocket has not changed as much as their tastes. Their tastes have changed. And that's where the problem comes in.
People love a lot of fried foods.
They love the bad things because it tastes, they don't taste better, you know. They have developed a taste for it. That's the difference. If you develop a taste for good food, that's what you will want. And when you're eating it, you taste the nutrients in it. You taste how fresh it is. You know if you're biting into a fruit, whether it's stale, whether it's now picked. If it's bird bite, well, you know that's the sweetest one. Because the bird are going after no sour fruit. So you want the bird pick one. That's the mango we're looking for. But you give the average person a mango with a bird pick in it, they will watch it. Oh, boy. I reject. That is not reject. But these are the things that we have lost.
Yeah.
It's the little things like this we have lost as a people.
Yeah.
Many young people today don't know the fruits and what fruits are in season. We used to know for any time our vacation come along.
Yeah, you know what fruit is coming.
We know what fruit is coming.
Yeah.
And we know what to look for. And we're hunting for it. When it's coconut season, we go and cut a bunch of coconut, even if it takes 2 days to cut a bunch of coconut. Because they have a little knife or a razor blade. And that's what we're doing. Right? But those are the things that you're looking for. But I'm not saying you have to do that. What I'm saying is that, yes, there's people below the poverty line and they don't have choices. But the choices that they make when they do have the choices are the wrong choices. You feel apple are picked throughout the year? No. Apple are picked at certain times in the year. A wax is placed over it and they put it in a freezer. That is it. It's not fresh apple picked last week that you get in. But we have the perception that these things are better than what we have.
Yes, I know that. That's right.
And that perception comes about because of a number of things. And our biggest problem on this earth is television. Television has transformed the way we think,
Yes.
the way we look at things. Television has changed us as a people. Television has changed our appetite. Television has changed everything about us. The way we socialize, what we consider to be important or not important. And our basic things that we know this is ours, we are made to feel that it's inferior to other things. And that's what I'm trying to get through to the listeners. What you have is not inferior.
As a matter of fact, it's superior.
It is superior. But you're not made to feel that way.
Yeah, I know. That elusive kind of...
You're thinking that processed food is better than the natural food. How could that be? But when you see something being advertised or you're watching a movie and these star boy and star girl, as we used to say a long time, the main actor and actresses, sit down to eat. They always have eggs and bacon, processed food. They will have processed food. They will stop to buy a burger on the side of the road. A hot dog. And you thinking that's the right thing to do. So it is what is created in your mind now, you thinking that's the right way to go. But it's not. We have lost the art of thinking for ourselves too. You know? That's why you could go and create a product. Let's call it the XYZ product. That really does nothing for you. But this XYZ problem, if you take this product, it's going to kill all the parasites in your body. So if I never hear the word parasite, you say, oh God, people are parasite in their body. Oh, I don't want that in my body.
Let's get rid of it.
So somebody comes now and tell you the human body has parasites. and you have to kill these parasites. And if you don't kill these parasites, you're going to die. We're all going to die. Book it, you're going to die.
Of course.
So you already fight. No, you're going to lie down in the bed and you're feeling parasite walking all over you. In your mind, you're thinking about parasite. But if you use XYZ product, it kills the parasite in your body. So you tell yourself, I have to get XYZ, I don't want parasites in my body. So already you're fooled. You're fooled with false information. So you start looking for XYZ product. XYZ product starts to sell. The first million bottle seller say, if I could get so-and-so to come and endorse the product, let me get them. Go on and pay them and say, full of $100,000. Come and talk about this product then. What product is it? XYZ product, it has kill parasite. Kill parasite? Okay. Now you get hooked on it too.
Yeah.
So you come and start talking about XYZ product. That's nothing for you. What Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so is talking about the product. All of a sudden, boy, that product had to be good. So it is marketing. And you can market something in such a way that you could sway the way people think. And we all went through that. We could all give the story about coconut oil. Those of us who grew up in our era, we could give the story of coconut oil and how we were made to think that it was the worst thing on the earth. You shouldn't be using coconut oil. Although our forefathers were using it donkey years.
Yeah.
And you had to stop using coconut oil and go and buy artificial oil. And then 20 years after, 25 years after, they come back with the same coconut oil and tell you buy it. It's good for you.
I tell you.
We all know what marketing could do. We could fool people with marketing. Advertising agents, advertising people who are into the advertising business, create words,
Of course.
They create perception, That's what they do. They have a license to come up with a word. And that word becomes a word when it's not a word.
See that though?
Look, right now we are ad running on this station. Every time I hear it, I get irritated. You just read it out here, summer.
Yeah.
We don't have summer in
I
Trinidad.
tell you.
I would have tell the advertising agency change that word. But of course, they're paying for the ad.
That's right.
But they can't get me to read that ad because I'll tell them I'm not reading something false. Trinidad don't have no summer.
Yeah. There are lots of things that happen.
Yeah. But if you're paid to do a job, you're paid to do the job.
That's what it boils.
It
right
boils down to that.
Yeah.
But somebody who is coming, let's say somebody comes to Trinidad for the first time and they don't know what the climate of Trinidad. Oh, Trinidad has summer. So I wonder when winter, what it does do.
Yeah. Or when it's fall.
Yeah. What happens?
Yeah. Vegetation behave.
Yeah. Exactly. But that's false
I
perception.
know.
But it's wrong. It cannot be right. And it's about time somebody says that these things are not right.
Tell you, that's the kind of copycat
Change
thing
it.
that we like.
We copycat everything. We cannot come up with our own ideas, and especially advertising agency. I see it all the time. You know, I have friends who visit here from outside of Trinidad, and they say, everything you all have to sing about?
Yeah.
Every advertisement is a sing song? Somebody can come up with a different idea? I said, no, that's how everything is sing song. But why is it accepted? Why do you think that you have to do a jingle for everything?
Yeah.
But that is what is pushed. Because for them, you go to the advertising agency, they'll tell you what's your jingle. Let me create a jingle for you. It's making money also.
Of course.
It's creating employment for somebody who could sing a jingle.
Yeah.
It is creating studio time. But if you don't need it, you don't need it. But getting back to the foods, because we have been conditioned in a particular way to think that these things are good for you, and they make you see in the morning that this is what you have to have for breakfast. This is what, for example, cereal. You must have cereal in the morning. Why you must have cereal in the morning? I can eat cereal in the night if I want to. I can eat cereal for lunch. What's wrong with having cereal for lunch if it's so good for you? Why is it a breakfast thing? You know, on the airlines, they serve you an American breakfast.
What's an American breakfast?
American breakfast is... No, an American breakfast is cereal. Cereal and milk.
Yeah.
That's an American breakfast.
Okay.
A European breakfast is different. But that's what they serve you in the morning. Because they tell you must have cereal and milk in the morning. And then they turn around and tell you milk is not good for you.
Yeah, I hear them say that, especially adults.
So this is the point I'm making. But the individuals who are supposed to be thinking about the long-term effect, not the short-term. What are the long-term impact that's going to happen to me and my well-being.
Functions like all body parts.
The function, our functions, when I am old enough to take on a lover, when I get married, when I want to have children. Many a times, persons who cannot reproduce is because of poor diet.
Has nothing to do with the genes and all that.
Genetically, that is a small percentage. It has a lot to do with poor diet, poor nutrition, not taking care of themselves. If you eat badly, most young ladies, when they eat badly, they get polycystic ovaries. Now you can become pregnant with polycystic ovaries. The problem with that is that you may not be able to carry the pregnancy. Now that does not mean that there aren't people out there who have had polycystic ovaries and had children also. But the chances are lowered. So if you don't take care of these things, you are going to have problems. The same thing with men and sperm count. If you don't have enough live sperm, you cannot impregnate your wife, your spouse, your partner. So when time for reproduction, it's not going to happen. So all you need to do is pay attention to these little things. Stop and think, what am I doing to my system? How can I change things to make it better? And move on. Let's take a break, but you need to take that off. Be dying.
Here you're into Sexplosion at Power 2.1 FM. There's more on the other side of this. Yeah.
Anything you want to contribute? Any question you want to ask?
All right.
Sure.
Reggae Ride, each and every Saturday from 6 to 10 p.m. on Power 102. The Reggae Ride, with the Empress, Gaylan, and the ultimate DJ Shane. Singing and good music. Join us for some soothing reggae music on a Saturday. Real reggae music. The Reggae Ride. From old to the new, we play only the best. The Reggae Ride, Saturdays from 6 to 10 p.m. on Power 102, empowering you.
Your car is for you to enjoy, and many victims of car theft feel helpless at that dreadful moment, not knowing if their car will ever be recovered. Don't let this happen to you. Get car safe from Air Support Tactical Security. They maintain a 100% recovery rate using their military-trained response teams and advanced online tracking.
You know, the people who live below the poverty line, they were the most expensive million.
And I wanted to expand on that a little bit to tell you, well, you know, they're more
Well, go on.
exposed
No, go on.
to more better food than the people who have a whole heap of money in their pocket. Who have a whole heap of money in their pocket is buy gyro and all them kind of crazy thing. I've never had energy drinks. The only energy drink I know I have ever had before was Lucozade. It's the only months I think I watched that coming. I said, well, I did another biology. I think so. When I read the content, I said, this can be good for me. But
Can
I
be
see
good.
men drinking and punching. I knew men when news came into here where they died drinking that Red Bull and punching.
Correct.
That and brandy.
Correct.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Monster and brandy. You know what I mean? And I just said, well, I said, nah, not me. But, you know, I talk about the poverty there because I want to go down that road. I want them to
No,
know.
we'll come back there.
Yeah, them must know that them exposed to better thing to eat. Yeah, the man want the money and he living like in an area with a garden and forest today. I think he access to fruits, all kind of things.
naturopathic remedies and lifestyle changes that can assist in improving the quality of our lives. Remember,
That's all?
your health is your wealth.
Everybody.
This segment is
Yeah, take it
sponsored
up.
by H
It's very cool, it is,
Limited,
Yeah,
distributors
it is also,
of
take it
Nature's
up.
Way, Bioforce, Biostrength, calcium vitamins, and other natural products of the highest quality.
This is Power 102, empowering you.
And of course, it's Sexplosion, sex education right here at Power 102.1 FM to empower you, man. We were speaking about the quality of foods and the type of breakfast and thing that you should have. And the people under the poverty line, you know, I was making mention to you that I think they play with what they have at their fingertips. Easy access to the real thing as compared to the person who...
But they don't want it.
No.
They don't want it.
Yeah.
Because they tell themselves that if I resort to eating those things, I am poor. So I must look to eat what the person who have a little more money in his pocket is eating, and that makes me like them.
Yeah, because I mean, the people who are under that kind of poverty line, most of the time you find them planting something.
No, but when you think about the psychological effects that it have, it's the psychology of it. The way you think about yourself, the way you think about things around you, that's what happens to you. You think that if you change those habits and you change the things that I eat, I will become wealthier. When it's not, when it's the opposite.
And they also think that that kind of food is better than the natural stuff that is. They feel
Because
that
you're
it's
made
being
to think that way.
Processed, yeah.
You're made to think that way through advertising, through what you see others doing, right? I remember, you know, there was a guy who reached a certain stage in politics, and he made the comment. He said, "I'm a singer and single malt whiskey drinker now." And when I heard that, I was like, "You reach." You reach. Because if you think a cigar and single malt whiskey is going to make you a better person, think again.
Yeah.
Think again.
I know the lifestyles now, especially where eating is concerned, where nutrition is concerned. I mean, with the explosive kind of advertising and promotion you see on Facebook and things. Now, most people are herbalists now. Most of them are people who have a special way of concocting things.
Of course.
You see what kind of
I had
things
a
now?
discussion like that yesterday at Miami Airport, discussing these things,
Yeah,
talking about that.
yeah.
That you could come up with any product. That's why I tell you, the product we invented is the XYZ product.
Yeah,
All you need to do is the marketing for it.
that's right.
You could have baby powder inside that capsule, you know.
Yeah.
Remember a time in China that they charged some a manufacturing company
Yes.
for putting gypsum in the powdered milk
Yes.
for children?
Yeah. I remember that. That was a big deal.
That was a big deal.
Yeah.
That was about 10 years ago.
And there's something trending right now. Some sort of vaccination thing that, I mean, it's crazy. But we believe that kind of way about where we should eat. You know, I mean, I remember having, I'm not talking about way back in the day. I'd like to go into I think it's the town center mall. You know. There was an Indian lady who used to sell way down on the other side. Like if you go from Frederick Street, she used to be on the other side, way down in the back. And I used to find like, you know, certain people go by this lady. But the bulk of youths and the bulk of the middle-aged people, they all buy these different entities, you know. And when I went down there, I see what she had was fried okra, fried curry. I think, brother, man, I used to live there. You know? I used to live there. So sometimes she said, that's what you eat too. She too was fascinated because I didn't want no bake. I like, you know, just a little bit of fried okra here, fried curry here, and that kind of thing. Garlic and onion. She said, you from the country? I said, yes. So I used to live there, boy. I used to have a time there because, I mean, a lot of people who were smart were going there. I used to see some guys order something. I used to copy the pattern and put
But
it
you know where
together.
was my favorite place to eat in Port of Spain?
Where?
Breakfast Shed.
Breakfast, I mean that.
I still live in Breakfast Shed.
Yeah.
When it was Breakfast Shed, and not now. Not now.
I agree.
Not now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Not now. One the quality has gone down. Two, the price has gone up.
Yeah.
But long ago, you go breakfast shed, you've eaten, and you have food to take home.
Yeah. I ordered a lunch that time.
That when they had the bench and the old table, and you remember that?
Yeah.
Them days.
Actually, I went there sometime. I think I took my grandson up there. I ordered that lunch. I had to look around to see who the line with this woman give me the price. I said, "What the hell is this? But that's the price of this lunch." I said, "My God!" But I didn't mind. I got what I wanted.
Yeah,
you know what I
but
mean?
still,
But
it
at
was
that
too
price,
expensive.
jeez, bitches.
That is not what the breakfast shed was.
No.
No, that is not the stevedore place to eat.
No, I remember how it used to be.
Correct.
Yeah.
So those of us who know what it was like, when you go there today, you don't get a bargain, you don't get value for money, and you don't even get the ambience we used to get.
It's true. It's true.
You remember when you had 20 tables and everybody sitting down next to one another?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a banker. I remember Mr. Manning used to go there and eat.
Of course, I know top of the line officials used to be there sitting right there.
And everybody sit down as one.
Yeah.
Everybody sat there as one. There was no special place for you to sit down, you know. Grab your place on the bench and sit down and get your food, and they'll bring your food for you.
Yeah.
And bring a little salad and bring this and bring that, and you could ask for more too.
Real home style. Pure home style.
Pure home style.
Yeah.
But that was the real thing. That is why I used to eat all the time.
But those kind of lifestyles and the trending way of eating, because people eat that way, the trends too. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I tell you. Know what? You could create a trend, you know.
Yeah.
You could create a trend.
Imagine you compact some meat.
And use, and what is use? Meat glue.
Meat what?
Glue. There's a glue that they make for meat.
Raj, talk about that now, because I always wonder, because I am very good in the kitchen. I like to do crazy things in the kitchen, but I always wonder,
Well, what's the stickiest thing you know in meat? Let me see if it is really cook.
the fat. That
The gelatin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But wait, before I go there, I used to wonder how these people get in this compact setting of meat to be turning, being heated by a soft burner in the back to keep it.
Back it.
But it is not
Melting
exuding
and falling all
oil and falling apart. So I said, well, how do you do that? I said, see me, I didn't do that at all, because I don't know what's keeping it together. So
That's the glue.
just like energy drinks, that's how I look at that.
But that's the glue.
Tell
And,
me
that,
what kind of
and
glue
the
is
reason why it tastes so good is because it's a mixture of meat. It's not one meat.
You're making matters worse in my
Yeah.
head now.
It's a
I hope
mixture of
that other
meat.
people think like me, because who like that? All matter their own order item to
That's
say.
why it have a distinct taste. That particular product has a distinct taste
So, Charlie,
because it is a mixture of meat.
so when people come up and say, can I have a lamb or chicken?
You're not having that in processed. Hi, Petra, how are you? In processed food, how could you be having what you call for? It's not. It's not.
But I always respect that. I mean, like I said, I don't want to make it sound bad for who like it.
But when you think about what is being
To point fingers at me.
what is being done. Like I remember I had some friends who are strict vegetarian. And many, many years ago, I think it was about 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago, I started to tell them about certain foods. And they were blown away. They were like, what? And certain things that they use. Even for Hindus, you're not supposed to use apples in offering to the Lord. Because the wax that they put on it is beef wax. So as a Hindu, you're not supposed to use an apple, but the apple is an expensive thing and it looks nice.
So what you're saying, that white powdery thing is
That
the
is
result
beef,
of
yeah,
the
the wax that they put.
And I shine off on my pants. And
Right, that is, yeah, it's wax. That is why it shines on you. It shines on you.
What kind of wax? From petroleum?
No beef,
Right, come.
marshmallows, gelatin, all those
Yeah,
things are not to be used, especially for religious reasons. Everybody has their diet according to their religion. So there are certain things that you should stay away from. When you're making gelatin, you think they differentiate between pig bones, cow bones.
Where does bone come in here? With
Bones is bones.
To make gelatin, they use bones. But I don't use it, and I don't eat that.
Yeah,
kind of
that's
thing.
what they use. They melt the skin and the bones and all the parts that they don't use. And they put it in a big vat.
Yeah.
And they cook it until it comes down to gelatin. That's what it is.
You know, one time a guy sent me a post where they were making sausage, and he said, Mac, careful what you eat. They were like throwing in a whole horse, a whole cow into this kind of mill. So they're going in live, they're being killed on the way by the mincing process, and they coming out in nice, well-wrapped sausages and stuff. So I thought that was...
I know about that one.
I thought that was comedy, but...
That's comedy. I don't think that's real.
But if you're saying they use bones and things to
But
create...
okay, when they are filleting cows
Yeah.
to get all the different cuts of meat, the same thing they do with the pigs. What do they do with the carcasses, which is the bones and skin and all other parts that remain?
Well, I know for the pigs, I know that they take the intestines and
They use
put it
everything.
around.
They use everything in the pig.
Yeah, the
There's
pig-
nothing that is wasted in a pig.
I know. Jesus Lord.
Snout, ears, you name it. The only thing they don't use is the waste. But what I'm saying is that they take these things and they put it in the vats. The bones. There are overloaders that pick these things up, and drop it in the vat, and they apply heat to it until it goes through the process and you get your gelatin. That's why it's so sticky.
Thank God I don't eat stuff like that.
Even I have had clients ask me what kind of capsules around the supplements that they're using, and we make sure we get vegetarian capsules. It's more expensive.
I'm telling you that. I use some probiotics and
No, but
the
if
veggies
if
and
you
cheese.
want the vegetarian capsule, it is more expensive. So we
Yes.
pay a little more for the vegetarian capsules, and we make sure that it's not manufactured in China or somewhere there like that.
Yeah.
We make sure it is from a certified lab, because things that come in from China and things, you are sure what it is.
That's fake business like that. Trust
Well,
me.
yeah,
Loads of fake.
they might tell you yes is it's kosher or vegetarian, and it's not, because they don't give a rat's tail whether you're vegetarian or not. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They just label it and process it, and that's it. They're ready for you.
When you go, a simple thing, you know why I learned these things? I grew up, the area I grew up in, we had a very good friend who was a Chinese chef. He had the best restaurant in our area. And eventually, as little children, we would go into the kitchen and we'll watch what they're doing and whatnot. And we became very close. His children used to stay by us, we used to go by them. And they always had this pot boiling on the side of the stove. But whatever they're making, they'll dip into this pot and take a scoop of whatever is in there and pour it and cook. And he used to tell my father, when you come to eat, make sure I know you're eating.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use the stock water. I'll use pipe water. But that stock water is all the remnants of meat and whatnot goes into that pot.
My God.
That's the stock water. So if you think you're fasting and you go to a Chinese restaurant and you ask them for vegetables, that you're getting vegetables that are not cooked with stock water, you're wrong. You're wrong. Some people may not want to hear this. But this is as far as religion is concerned. But let's talk about health. That's a different kettle of fish. Because if you're thinking about your health, you have to be very careful about what you eat.
Yeah, especially.
If you're ordering a soup and you tell them you don't want the stock water, they'll make it with pipe water, it wouldn't taste good. Believe me, it wouldn't taste good. Because that stock water has a distinctive taste, it gives it a flavor. It's stock. Stock is the bones and the cartilage and whatnot that remains back, they just throw it in the pot. And it's boiling there, it's cooking there, and you get stock water from that. But that's what it is. So you cannot get pure vegetarian food like that. If you're fooling yourself and say, I'm going to a restaurant and I'll order wontons, vegetarian wontons, you feel they change the knife to cut up the vegetable that they just cut the meat with?
Or where they fried it and all that.
You think that? It's not going to happen.
I know.
Unless it's a vegetarian restaurant. Then you're sure you're safe.
Where you're seeing all the vegetarian
Right.
vegetables being processed.
But some people don't want to hear that. When you tell them that, they dismiss it. They say, you're talking stupidness. We don't want to hear that. You know why? Again, it's a perception. And the perception of taste. That I want this, even though I am fasting or abstaining, I want this still. So no matter what someone says, that's what I'm going to go and have.
People like you and I, or you and me, who work these kind of hours and things, and sometimes you might have had something to eat before you come. But you know, talking and driving go hand
Mhm.
in hand. It's
Cor-
emptying
correct.
your stomach. I see.
Correct.
When you get home, you eat.
Me
I've
no.
been told that you don't eat in the night.
No, I don't eat at night. I don't eat. My wife asked me before I left home, would I like a cup of tea when I come home? She'll make it and leave it there for me, and that's it.
What's so deadly about eating at night? If you're real hungry.
Remember, your metabolic rate slows down at night. There's your biological clock. Your body operates in a particular way, and we covered that last week. Your body operates in a particular way during the waking hours,
Yeah.
and it changes during the night hours. When you eat and your metabolic rate, your metabolism has slowed down, you eat more than likely you're going to go to bed. You're not active. Right? So you're not burning up the energy as you normally would during the day. And you may tend to eat a little more at night because you're more relaxed. So your temperament has changed. And I had to explain something about temperament today to our client. Your temperament changes as you ages, and based on your maturity and your experiences. And you'll notice that as a young, and it's saying, come back to the same thing I was talking about. As a young person, you'll have a dokedam attitude. What my grandfather used to call a dokedam attitude. You care. Monday could fall on a Sunday, you care. Right? But as you get older, it's more important. These things become more important. You know, a staple in my family is reading a newspaper in the morning. You must read a newspaper. It's a habit that was passed on from my grandfather to my father to myself. You must read a newspaper. I see my son do it, but he does do it online. Doesn't matter. He reads newspaper every morning. But what is important is that these habits that you have develops over time. But your temperament may change, and your behavior will be based on your aging process. So you may reach an age later on when you really don't care about anything because you have achieved the things you want to achieve in life. You know what it took to get there. So whatever people want to think, that's their business. You know how you have reached where you have reached. So you have a different temperament, a different behavior. It's the same thing with food, the times that you eat food. But sometimes the food that we eat at night is not the best food for nighttime. It might be heavy carbohydrates. And carbohydrates are converted into sugar and it rests in your system, which is converted into fat. So that's why it's not recommended that you eat at night. Simple.
So if you're really hungry.
Now, if you're really hungry, there are things that you can eat. But you have got to know what you're doing to yourself. Now, if it's a one-off thing, it's not a big deal. But, okay, I deal with a lot of different people with their sexual health and their health overall. Most persons who are in the Hindu faith, they'll go to what you call a Ramayana at night.
Yeah.
And after it is done, then you go to eat. That's the worst practice in the world. And when you go to eat, what do you eat? Heavy carbohydrate. Carbohydrates on carbohydrates. There's very little protein. So eating carbohydrates on carbohydrates. The parasa that is given to you, that is carbohydrate. Now, I might do that as a one-off thing. You might go and do it as a one-off thing, and it's no big deal. But think about the person who is doing that every single night because he's the officiating person, the priest. What happens to his system? That's why diabetes sets in, obesity sets in. But there are those now who are conscious of it and say, no, I don't want that. I'm not eating that at night. Give me something different. Or I am just going to have a cup of tea. And then you might feel insulted that, hey, the Baba come by me and he having what I cook. No, it's not good for me. That's the bottom line. It's going to put me in hospital. It's going to get me sick. It's going to shorten my life. I don't want that. So you have to make a decision what you want to put in your system. How much of anything that you want to partake in. So even if you go home at night and it's late. Now, some people have a very good metabolic rate throughout their life, They can't put on an ounce of fat,
Like me.
Right. But if you have a good metabolic rate and you don't put on fat, it doesn't matter. But certain persons have a propensity to put on weight. in particular areas. Some persons put on weight on their buttocks, some person put on weight around their waist, person put on weight around their chest area, hands. You have that within you. That's genetics. Why feed that? If you feed that, you're going to end up in trouble. Sugars and fats, you have to stay away from. Carbohydrates, you stay away from that. Fatty food. But if you go home now and you say, boy, I'm hungry, let me eat a bread and cheese. What is that? Think about it in terms of nutrition. Carbohydrates and fats.
What would you recommend that you eat it? Fruits?
There are different things. You could eat some foods. Again, it depends on, some foods will keep up people because it's high in sugar.
Like mangoes and stuff?
Yeah.
A lot of people like me, so sometimes I go in there, and especially mango season, I might have about 3 or 4.
I love my mango. Boy, what? I love that. Mango is my favorite fruit. Too.
Yeah. But where food is concerned, I think, and especially where men are concerned, I think, you know, people eat things and they say it's good for the back. You know?
There's no such thing. There's no such
But
thing.
what kind of food would you recommend for that kind of vitality or something like that?
Well, definitely not things that are high in sugar. Definitely not junk food. But I'll give you a good formula. The main hormone in a man to function as a man is testosterone. If you have normal levels of testosterone or good levels of testosterone, you have to maintain that. And last week we spoke about the 2 things that maintain it: sleep and exercise. There are certain foods also that helps you to maintain a good level of testosterone. And that's important to note. Avocado, celery, asparagus, salmon fish, oysters, almond nuts,
Is watermelon up in there?
watermelon, and some other thing I'm missing out here. Some other thing. It's 8 of them. But those things help you to maintain a good level of testosterone. It does not increase testosterone.
So don't eat too much.
Exactly. Don't overdo it. And don't feel when I eat them thing, you're putting something in your back. You're not doing that. You know, it's a false perception that we have that if you're going to go and put on a good walk.
Yeah.
Do I have to explain what is putting on a good walk?
No.
I need to explain that?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Sure, sure.
The young people will pick up on that too.
Yes.
Right. So if you're going to put on a good walk,
Yeah.
I'll go and drink our oysters.
Yeah.
And I'll put on a good walk. Do you know what the digestive process is? You did biology.
Yeah.
You know that's something that you eat today. You're not going to digest that and get the energy from it immediately.
You don't really
The only
know
thing
what
that happens with is honey. Honey is instant energy. If you need to drink an energy drink, mix some honey and some water and drink that.
Right. I know about that.
Mix some honey and water and drink it. That is instant energy. Instant. Right. Do you know why a boxer don't go and eat a steak before he goes to fight? Because it's not going to digest. It's going to rest on his stomach. The digestion process is going through. The blood is going to keep down there. The blood is not going to come up here where you need it and up here where you need it for your brain. The blood is concentrated on digestion, and that's another thing when you sleep. When you sleep, the body goes into repair and maintenance. Changes take place. Blood circulation. If the body is busy digesting, the blood is heading towards the stomach.
Yeah, give it extra work to do.
Extra work.
Outside of what it
So
really
that
has.
organ is working extra time when the other organs need to repair and maintain. So you're putting your body under stress. A different kind of stress. So a boxer cannot go and eat a steak or a dash. I remember our food and nutrition teacher saying he can't go and eat dasheen and go and fight. Now you can eat dasheen today and get the nutrients out of it a few days down the line. But instantly you cannot eat a dasheen before. So if you're going to put on a walk, don't go and drink no oysters or a pack of nuts and say I put it to give me back.
Oh, a big fish, bro.
That's not going to help you. It is not going to help you the way. No, there is something called a placebo effect. If I give you this tablet and say, hey, take that tablet, you'll put on the best walk you ever put on in your life. Now all you're going to say, Dr. Raj gave me that, boy. Oh God, that must be good, boy. Yes, I go and try it. And when you try it, boy, you really go on. What is this, the placebo effect? I might have given you a aspirin.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know what I gave you, but I gave you it with the words that it is the
Sure.
best thing.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with these products that are being advertised. They tell you it is for one thing when it is not, and they make you think that is what it is. So you buy the product. So you're fooling yourself. So putting things in your back, and I've heard that many times, is a false conception. It's not right. Don't think that. You're doing yourself a disservice. You are really fooling yourself. If you think that there's a product that I am going to use and I'm putting something in my back and I'm going to perform better sexually. If you have poor sexual performance, you're going to have poor sexual performance regardless of what you eat. Regardless of what you eat or drink.
That is the easiest sort of stuff, but I kind know. Mentally, but all kind of thing. All kind of
But
things.
the best place for those things to be propagated is in the rum shop.
Yeah. And barber shop
But
and that kind of
most of the times, them fellas who sit down in the rum shop can't do a thing. I make no apologies for saying that. You sitting down there drinking alcohol, inactive, not eating properly, damaging your liver, putting your stomach under stress, putting a poison into your system, and you want to tell me you just function well? After a while, you never hear they say you're looking like the rum bottle?
Yeah.
So how could you be living that lifestyle and tell me that you're functioning like a healthy human being? It's impossible. But they are the ones to tell you, boy, if you use this and this combination,
All hell break loose.
no, boy, you mash up the place. There was this gentleman who used to go to the rum shop every morning and ask for his morning coffee. You know what was his morning coffee?
Drink that push.
A shut up punching.
Yeah, I see that. I see guys.
I remember in the village where I grew up, well, 1/3 of my life, Bucal, when a man say you are a truck and trailer, there's a shutter punching and a carry behind it. There's a truck and trailer.
I see there's some guys I used to hang out with. I too used to indulge, and while we drinking, they would call a block of cheese and pepper, and I learned that is one of the fastest way to produce kidney stones.
What is it? That's what you're doing.
A good friend of mine.
But everybody know that the best thing to do in a rum shop when you're drinking is cheese and pepper.
Yeah.
In long time, it's had large chow pepper. Nothing used to be that.
Yeah.
That yellow pepper, you remember that?
It's true, yes, larger chow.
Yeah. That yellow pepper.
Yeah.
And cheese, not this better than that. But you're doing yourself a
I used
disservice.
to indulge in that until he ended up in the hospital, and we all had he's one of the most favorite guys on the crew, and he ended up. I was really scared, and I went to look for him, and he said, "You better stop drinking and eating cheese." He said that it coagulates and all kind of thing and creates a stone. And when he showed me the size of stone that came, I said, "My God!" So I said, "No."
If
Anytime-
you ever have the opportunity,
yeah.
go to one of those exhibitions that they just have with the human body where they slice it up and they show you, they have them in, it's an actual human.
Yeah.
They slice them across like in thin slices, maybe about 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch, and look at the kidney and you see some of the stones in there. Blows your mind, you know.
I tell you,
Blow your
I
mind, you
couldn't
know.
believe what he showed me.
When I saw that
I
for the
doubted
first
it.
time, I was like, my God.
Yeah. And Alexandra, the pathologist, I went to do a book distribution in Marabella one time, and he was explaining to the children how they should eat and all that. And he showed us stone that was bigger than what was in my partner. I said, that came out of somebody. He said, yeah.
Yeah.
I said, my God. And the same thing he said, alcohol and cheese, it coagulates. And
Yeah.
or any dairy.
Dairy product.
Yeah. So
But if you're consuming dairy product, you got to do something to your system that's going to combat that.
so cutters fall in the same category as cheese?
No, it doesn't fall on the same category as cheese. It's not dairy. It depends on the kind of cutters that you're having. But if you're having fried foods, heavily fried foods, what you're doing to your system again?
Yeah.
And then the hormones that are used to get these things onto the plate is what you have to look at. They're using drug to create a product. So, from birth to when this product is supposed to be good enough to consume, is, let's say, 6 months, which we know to be the truth. Now that same product is on the table in a month and 5 days. So what is the shortening of the process? You use drugs, hormones, to change the process. You want a faster yield. Everything in crops, whatever you're doing, you want a faster yield.
Yeah.
So you're experimenting in a way that you're going to get a faster yield. Now, they don't get to detoxify themselves. The animals that are injected or given these things that don't get to detoxify themselves. So what happens? It remains in the tissue. Whatever is injected into these birds and these fowls and whatnot, and animals, remains in the tissue. That product is taken and fried, or cooked, however, and you eat it. So you're consuming the drug together with the tissue, together with the meat. What's going to happen to you? There's going to be a chemical reaction within your body to that drug that is still in the tissue. It's logical, you know,
Yeah, I don't
and
know.
it's common sense, you know.
I don't know that at all.
It's logical and common sense. Ask anybody with a chicken farm out there. The birds that die on the farm, when they pick it up, the weight of it and what it looks like. Are there anyone who has a chicken farm to call now and tell you what that bird looks like? It gets flat like a pancake, and it looks like there's feather and skin. Nothing else. That's what it looks like. It's flat like a pancake.
The eggs that are being offered also, I mean, demand outstrips
Production?
supply in almost everything these days.
Of course.
Because people are not planting.
But
people
you got to find a faster way to produce.
So eggs.
You got to find a quicker way. That's what they do. They keep the chicken awake all the time. They feed them chemicals again to produce all the time. It's chemically induced. Of course, if it's chemically induced, now you know the eggs that are created for the table cannot be hatched. Right? So those are strictly for eating. Nothing else.
Is that healthy?
To a point, yes. But after a certain point with it, what happens?
Yeah, sometimes when you crack open some eggs, it splatters all about.
Yeah.
Yellow
no
and
yolk.
white look the same.
There's no yolk.
Everything's flattened. There's no roundness and firmness of that yolk.
No, there's none of that because it is man-made.
Is that good to eat, right?
How could it be good to eat?
But that's what's being offered now. People eat it. They make cakes. They don't
But you know that if you go, well, I don't think they're doing it in Trinidad yet. Well, I hope that. But I'm sure some of the bigger places are doing it. The eggs that you get are scrambled eggs, not egg, you know. It's powdered egg. It's not, there's nobody going to break an egg and put it in to fry or whatever, you know.
Okay.
It's powdered eggs. The yellowness that you see in it is an artificial color. There's one food place in the United States that is notorious for that. They serve you breakfast 24/7. They serve breakfast 24/7. They're known for breakfast. But that thing they call scrambled egg is not an egg. I don't ever eat scrambled egg. No, mister. Give me my whole egg fry or whole egg boil.
Right.
I must see that it is an egg. It must not be something coming from a pack that you mix water in and you throw on that. It must not be that. So if you know these little things, you'll know what to ask for. You know, like even fish. No. In most places, I have to tell you whether it's farm raised or wild caught. You know. Because the farm raised fishes are not good.
I know. I've read about that.
It's
I
not
was
good for you.
So surprised, especially tilapia.
Tilapia is the worst.
Yeah,
I don't eat that outside at all.
No.
The only tilapia I will buy is the one from Weimar. When you're going on the highway, the ones that they catch in Weimar River.
Yeah. Down by me, there's a big dam that we the fellas we have gone there. It's a massive dam, a natural dam. It wasn't man-made or anything. And we had a time catching a cascador and tilapia there. But then when they started farming it, I thought, well, it's the same thing. But
No, it's not.
I've seen plenty of documentaries that
No, it
you
is
have
not.
eaten
It is
that.
not. It is not. It is not the same thing.
Yeah.
The fishes that are found naturally, and the fishes that you rear for the farm fish is not the same. Same thing with shrimp. They're farm raised shrimp,
Yeah.
and they're natural shrimp. We have a situation in Trinidad with crab and cholera. The imported crab, right? They warn you against eating the imported crab. The local crab, you don't have that problem.
How you differentiate?
Well, you have to check the passport.
Because see, especially dogs.
No, I tell you as it is.
Yeah.
I will go Manzan when crab running and whole crab.
Yeah.
I show them local.
Yeah.
I know nobody going down there and going crab for anybody to hold.
Along the western coast where I live in, there are lots of some guys they go catch crabs. So I'll buy from them.
Yeah.
But,
Or you go in the mang and you hold your crab.
Yeah, but in San Fernando, especially around
Now you don't know what's coming
Gulf
in.
City and stuff.
No, but some of them used to tell you, but now they don't tell you, won't tell you.
No.
Because they know that's their livelihood and they're going to lose.
Yeah, and I've been down to see just some.
But there are certain types of crab, you know, it's not
where they
indigenous to
bring in a lot of
Trinidad.
that stuff,
But there's certain type of crabs we don't find in Trinidad. So when you see it, you say, I ain't want that. Give me my blue crab from Manzan side, yeah?
Yeah, even going through this Southern Mineral back a curve there where you come to the Tapacuno to swing into.
Yeah, Caroni Road in
Yeah.
back, yeah. They have crab vendors.
I tell you.
Now I'm sorry for them because it is a living, eh?
Yeah.
But then again, you have to be careful with the type of foods that you eat. I tell you, I prefer stop on the highway. The guys who catch tilapia in
right
the
on the
Waima,
side, yeah, right on the side of the road there.
right?
Yeah.
And buy from them as opposed to buying tilapia in a
Farm.
not a farm, in one of those supermarkets. I wouldn't buy that.
Yeah, it's true.
I will not do that.
When men are taking these kind of foods on a daily basis and being fooled by
Well, that's what I say. There's a change that takes place in your body, and it's going to affect you later on in life. So how quickly you get erectile dysfunction or how quickly you get some sort of sexual dysfunction is dependent on the things that you put into your system.
that can be reversed and stuff.
Yes, of course. Like everything else, it could be reversed, but it's a process. It's a costly process and a time-consuming process. But everybody wants a quick fix. The person will tell you that they have a work to put on tonight. What you could do for me today?
Yeah.
Nothing. But use Dr. Raj. I can't do nothing for you. Because the minute I give you something and it doesn't work, you're not going to blame yourself, you know. You're going to blame Dr. Raj. He gave me something and it didn't work.
I've done a lot of research on moringa olive flower.
Mhm.
I remember back in a couple of years ago when the black caucus came out, there was a guy who did that sort of business of selling the powdered product and stuff. So I was amazed at the amount of some 17 different types of nutrients you can find in the moringa and stuff and thing. So I used to just maintain I always anytime something is in my mind, I say it's haunting me, I would research and find out more and more and more and more and more. And there it was that for strengthening erection and all of that, moringa olive oil. What's your take on that? Because I know Andy almost had he had set up an interview with one of these ministers that spoke about it as someone who will take it, and use it and stuff, but said it wasn't all of that. What's your take?
It is not all of that.
Tell me what's your take on that.
It is not all of that.
So most
It
of
is
this
not
stuff,
the wonder thing that they make it out to be.
So what I read
Every
about
Indian home have Saijan.
Saijan is how you call it.
That's what it is. Every Indian home have that. We eat Saijan, we use the leaf, we use the fruit to cook. That is what it is. It came from India.
I know.
Right, so the moringa is the same thing, all they do is powder the leaf, but they, like everything else. Do you remember when Noonie was the wonder drug?
Yeah.
What happened to Noonie?
Moringa.
Whatever happened?
Moringa
took
threw it
over.
up. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Ever so often, there's someone who's going to want to make $1 million of a product or millions of dollars of a product, and they'll tell you this is the new wonder product. It is not the cure-all for there's no product out there that is the cure-all for everything.
But they said it's loaded with nutrients and stuff.
It may be loaded with certain nutrients, but if your body has an imbalance, if you're putting junk into your system, and you have a high level of toxicity in your body, It could have whatever balance or whatever amount of nutrients in it. It's not going to work. It starts with you.
You must detox.
Are you detoxifying? Are you cleaning out your system? What are you doing? Are you getting rid of the waste? You know when John Wayne died, they removed 32 pounds of waste from his body, from his intestine. Do you know that? 32 pounds of crap that was stuck to the lining of his stomach lining. That was not digested because he was a steak man. It just stuck to the walls of his stomach, and that is it. That creates cancer, it creates other ailments. What are you doing to flush out your system? What type of fibers are you using? How much fruits are you consuming?
In times,
Now, if you tell some people about food, they cuss you, you know.
in times of when fruits are out of season and stuff.
Fruit is never out of season.
Types. What they like. There are some types that might be.
Well, that's what I said. Fruits are never out of season.
Yeah.
How could fruits be out of season? There are fruits all the time. I like mangoes, but mangoes not always in season. So why can't you switch from mangoes to sapodilla? Why can't you switch from the all-time fruit, bananas? You ever hear banana out of season?
True. That's an everyday thing. That's always in season.
Well, right. And a nice ripe banana, the one with the spots on it, is the best, you know, in America. That's what I love, you know. Hey, when you go to these breakfast places and whatnot, once the banana has spots, I think them Americans not eating that yet. The banana spoil.
Yeah.
You know that the sweetest one, right?
That's the best. Yeah, I know.
You know that the one with the most nutrients.
Yeah, I know.
You know that, eh?
Yeah, I know.
Then one, the green one, when they crack it, they go,
Yeah.
and they peel it back, you go,
It's hard to peel and all of that. Yeah.
them like that one. When I go,
Yeah.
I go to the supermarket, and if I know I have 5 days to stay there, I buy the one that looking the ripest, and I'll keep it in my room. So over the days it ripens
Yeah,
and
get the brown
ripens
spots
and
and
ripens,
stuff.
and when the brown spots start to come in, I say, yes!
Yeah, that's the real thing.
But most of the places I stay, they have breakfast. So I look for the bananas. So I tell the person, I say, when they change in color, bring it for me.
Right.
But the others, they wouldn't take it. Because to their mind, that's not how banana is supposed to look. It's supposed to be totally yellow, no spots on it. But again, it's perception.
Yes, it is.
Because their idea of a banana, right? They may know nothing about Lakatan and Gamichel and them kind of thing. Their idea of a banana is this yellow looking thing.
Yeah.
So they don't know, they have never seen a banana tree in their life. So they don't know about that.
Yeah, so true.
We know it. We know when it starts to ripe on the tree.
Yeah.
We know when birds go and pick it. We know about all them things.
Yes.
We know when it's easy to break off.
Yeah.
So we know that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that there are certain fruits you can get all the time. And banana is one of them.
Yes.
When orange in season, why not have oranges and Portugals and, well, it's not Portugal, it's Portugal.
Portugal, yeah.
That's the correct name.
Yes, Portugal.
There's no fruit called Portugal.
Yeah.
Nowhere in the world. So why can't you do that? Why can't you switch as you're going along?
Nuts, Raj. We're talking about
Nuts are very good for you.
I'm touching on.
Now, if you notice, let me just touch on a point
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Anything that is good for any particular part of your body has the shape of it.
You go.
You're laughing.
You go, boy. That sounds good. That sounds like a plan. Tell me.
Look at the pecan nuts.
Mm.
Shape of your brain. Very good for your brain.
Okay.
Almond nuts. Those are things that you should be consuming all the time. Peanuts to an extent. There are some nuts that are high in fats.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, nuts have good fats.
So I eat a lot of peanuts. Is that good for me?
Well, how much is a lot?
A pack or 2 packs.
I don't see anything wrong with it. I have a pack a day. I'm a nut man, you know.
Yeah, me too.
I eat nut in every form. Any kind of nut you could think about. I buy bags of nuts.
I told you already that I saw.
I go to the nut house
Yeah.
and buy pound of this, half pound of that. That's why I buy
That's
nuts.
the place in Barata, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that place very well.
Yeah, you got.
Yeah, yeah.
I buy nuts by the pound.
I've seen documentaries. These people who live in Tibet,
Mm-hmm.
and rather than live off this little fruit like a dumb, it's like a dumb. And in the morning time they go there, lunchtime. They eat that and that alone. But you should see the texture of the skin and stuff, and the quality of the hair. I don't know.
But you know, I had a doctor friend from where was it? New Jersey, and Dr. Ozut. He was from Turkey,
Yeah.
and he always was looking at our skin. And he said one day he told me, he said, I have to go to Trinidad. I said, why? He said, Trinidadian skins are different. He said, it has to be the food that you all are eating. He's a skin specialist. And he said he treated a lot of Trinidadians. And he noticed that about us. Our skin is different. And he said it has to be something in the soil. And it has to be something in the soil because we are the best cocoa in the world.
Of course.
So it has to be something in the soil.
So obviously, I've touched on ringer, I've touched on nuts. Some of these food,
Okay, another fruit,
Yeah.
sugarcane.
sugarcane. I know what.
There are no season for sugarcane?
No, and I've learned so much about the sugarcane juice. But that's a juice to drink very cold.
Very cold.
Don't try to drink that water. It will not pass the back of your throat.
Very cold. You need it very cold.
Yeah. One time I
Well,
tried
we
that.
used to have squeezers. I think we used to have squeezers and squeeze you on sugarcane and make with juice. The fiber content is what you want. You want the juice. You want the nutrient. I prefer chew sugarcane.
Yeah.
I prefer that. I like to peel it with my teeth and chew it.
Yeah, me too.
I like that. I grew up doing that, and that is what I enjoy.
Because I tell you, one time a guy introduced me to this sugarcane juice. It tasted well, so I kept back some. And when it got warm, I tried to drink some.
And it didn't go down.
I had to stop and spit that out. I
God,
said, well, what happened? in
sugarcane
that
juice, you
short space
you
of time?
must have ice in it, or it have to be very cold.
Yeah.
Hey, don't drink that warm.
Yeah. But all that kind of food, that dietary list that we created here.
But again, everything in moderation, you know. Everything in moderation. And to top it off, water all the time.
Yeah. Very good.
And we touched on that already. 75% of your body is water. Why not put water in your system all the time? And you know what I dislike? The persons who say they cannot drink tap water. That does irritate the crap out of me. And you know, it's the persons who cannot afford to buy water that's be buying water all the time. Honestly, you know, I don't buy water. I will fill my water in a pipe and drink it. Why do you need to buy water?
But there's some areas, especially like in Labrador, sometimes you get water, the color, to drink that.
No, well, if you have that type of situation, then you have a choice.
That's right. Yeah.
Then you don't have a choice.
With me, sometimes I buy
But
water
if
all the time.
what I can't understand, why persons, there's one, okay, for example, you have persons working in an office. And you know, long ago there was a cooler that was attached to the tap, and you'll get water from the cooler.
Yeah.
Filtered halfway or whatever is water. It's the same water that goes into the tap. So everybody was drinking that. Bottled water came about, and everybody wants bottled water in the office.
Same filtered system.
But all it is water that's filtered. Reverse osmosis, that's all it is, nothing else. We don't want no artesian well where they're going to extract water and give you pure water and all that, nothing like that. Don't be fooled into thinking that every water that you're drinking in Trinidad is Wassa water. Processed or Wassa water.
Let me take a short credit payment here, and we come back.
Kick the ball at Ramesh and Leela to win free.
So what time did I get? Like one time I was going Maracas, I was going to from the Black Church room.
You don't pull up your bottle?
You heard me? I roll a drink water. I'm going up there. I load up bottles. I walk with these big ones that I buy for and I pull up the trunk. I carry out the home.
Of course.
That's the real thing.
I just drink that.
Yeah, that's the real thing, boy.
Start your weekends with Sir Charles and Calypso Classics. Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 a.m. Calypso Classics.
Calypso! Calypso!
classics from all the greats of Calypso, Sparrow, Scallop,
But continue with the water talk,
Brother,
yeah?
Shadow,
I have a few points to make.
Calypso classics with Sir Charles.
I don't like to people just hardly drink water, they always buying juice. Like Chris, that man love a Coca-Cola.
Yeah, boy.
Chris drink two Coca-Cola per day, you know.
Power of
If the girl upstairs then leave Coca-Cola, he blew, you know.
Hey, that is addicted to it.
He tell me, I said, Chris, you must come up for that Coca-Cola. Yeah.
You
No
know,
sugar, boy.
how long you know Chris?
Well, I hear since about 10 years now.
You remember when Chris was...
I know when I came, he had some signs. And then he just shrink down here. Well, I was told that he has the diabetes thing.
Bad. 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 Not things. Bad.
And he's just gonna drink that thing every
I'll show you
day,
some
boy.
pictures of him when I started here.
Wait.
Chris was one of my co
I drank a Coca-Cola the other day. I said, much years I drink a Coca-Cola. I came and the place was real hot, boy. And I gone upstairs, I load up a glass with ice and I really enjoyed it.
No, Coke does this well.
Yeah, boy.
But I wouldn't have it.
But I said, I don't drink that, so no. That day I drank one, so I said, I was in the library saying, boy, yes, I drink a Coca-Cola. This tasted real good. And he was passing. Damn, I only hope that I don't want to meditate from up there. One of his, so it means he still maintains drinking two every day. So now when I come, he has the two in the plastic bottle right there. Every single day. And I know he has this problem. I don't know, bro. And to me, like people who support that diabetes thing, they like them kind of food, boy.
They crave it.
True.
Final. It's the final
Boy, Raj, boy, I just want to know, I tell them I will be mad all the time, you know. I will be mad, boy. My breakfast, I don't want to talk about it because I feel like it. But every day I see that different kind of vegetable or cook basket with something. But
I think you come a whole road just for
yeah, boy.
I love that.
I tell you, I will get up in the morning and just bust up some of that as my breakfast now. You know, sometimes I eat too much junk and you tell me don't even do that. Make sure I still have my breakfast. If I just had stupid the night before, I feel like I shouldn't eat anymore. But I used to don't do that. Make sure I have something to eat.
No expo until Diwali. Final extension. Definitely closing on Emancipation Day. Wednesday, August 1st.
This is Power 102, empowering you.
And this is Thursday's edition of Sexplosion. Education galore for you, and you too. Dr. Raj, the water situation. We were talking about water.
When you consume water, you are putting a lot of toxin in your body, bottled water. Think about it. The manufacturing process is all well and good
Yeah.
because you're creating a different type of water from what you get in the tap. But it goes into a plastic bottle, and that plastic bottle is transported in a hot vehicle, and it might be in a vehicle for hours, and the plastic will start to seep. Many a times you're drinking the water and tasting the plastic. Sometimes a person will tell you bottled water tastes different. Yes, it does taste different.
It does.
What you're tasting is the plastic. You're tasting the plastic.
It's the water that is manufactured by these water companies and held in warehouses stacked to the roof.
Of course. But when it gets to the supermarket or whatever, isn't it put in a warehouse and stacked to the roof? You feel the warehouse have air conditioning? You feel they maintain the same temperature right through? There's a change in temperature, and once you put plastic with a change in temperature, it's going to seep. You keep water in your car. Most of the time, you have bottled water in your car.
Yeah.
What happens in a car? You know how quickly the temperature goes up in a car?
Yeah.
Just park your car.
Yeah.
Just park your car outside. Wind up the windows, switch it off for 5 minutes. For 5 minutes, and see what happens.
Yeah, it's very hot in there.
And you leave in a bottle there for the entire day to go and drink it in the evening time. It's not healthy. You know, somebody was talking about one of the energy drinks. They say it gives you wings. You know, they can't use that again. They were sued for that. You know that?
No.
You notice they take all that from the other. They were sued for it. It doesn't give you wings. And the person thought he had wings and he could fly. So they had to remove it. Because they sue the company. They say, but it says that it gives you wings.
Yeah.
So the person sued the company. And you know in America, you sneeze
Yeah.
as they sue you.
Yeah, I know. They don't play outside.
They sue you for anything.
Yeah, but
You cannot be propagated to people or making them believe that it gives you wings.
what kind of effect these water plastic absorb the water? What kind of effect it have on the system? Knowing that it tastes in it.
Cancer, women, breast cancer, carcinogens. You have to be careful with that. If you have to store water, they tell you don't store it in plastic. Store it in a metal container. Store it in something other than plastic, glass.
Aluminum.
Yeah.
Where you put where do you put rainwater and soap and
Barrel, metal barrel. I'm done with that.
it's the best drink, right?
Yeah.
Even though the atmosphere is all that toxic.
Well, you breathe in the atmosphere all the time, That's one thing you can't filter,
I tell you.
That is one thing, no matter what you do, you cannot filter that, You're breathing in that air all the time. So those who live in a toxic environment, such as around the Point Lisa's plant area, you're breathing in toxic air all the time. You can't get away. Or those who live along the east-west corridor, close to the Cureb Junction area. That area is toxic, with diesel fumes and all those things trapped in that area. If you want to become a trillionaire, find a way to remove smog and fog from LA, and you're a rich man, You know that layer of fog that you see over LA, which is smog. If somebody could remove that, they become a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire.
But in areas like these, would you define a rainfall there as
Acidic? Of course, you have some acid rain. It may not be as acidic as some people believe it to be, but it has a change.
You have
But
patients-
remember, Trinidad does not have a sitting cloud over Trinidad. The cloud comes. I always remember, in our days, we used to time the rain, because you'll hear the rain coming through the forest.
Yeah.
Coming through the forest. And as the sound becomes heavier, you're running home. And if you're running towards the rain, well, you have to run home faster.
Yeah.
And those who live in running with the rain, they run a little slower because they want the rain to catch them.
Yeah.
That was the trick, right? So we used to time the rain. But my grandfather used to always tell us, once you're living on the east-west corridor, if you're living in Grandy, you just look to the northern range. If that cloud is coming over the northern range, you're going to get rain. If it's coming from the west, you're going to get rain. If it's coming from the east, you're going to get rain. Very rare. Right? So we had a particular place we used to look. So even up to Saturday or someday in the week, last week, I was telling my wife, I said, once the cloud coming over that area there, it's raining. It's going to rain. You can't get away from that. And that holds true, right? But when the rain falls in Trinidad, it is not the rain that is absorbed from that spot. The condensation doesn't take place from that spot. It's the rain cloud that comes from elsewhere.
Right.
So you don't have that problem here. In Florida, you have a problem with acid rain. They have a problem with that because it's so flat. And what acid rain does and how you know it is what is discoloration of your vehicle when the rain falls on it. Your vehicle starts to discolor. You get spotting. That's how you know about acid rain.
You have patients that live in the Blanchard, Santa Cruz area.
I have patients from every single part of Trinidad.
Up
and
in
Tobago.
that place, water just pours out of the rock. I like to.
I love that. I love that water.
What kind of metabolism you can detect with people who live in that area who come to you with some complaint?
Well, it depends on what their complaints are. Most of it is age related. It's not toxicity. That's one thing you find. It might be medically related or age related, but it's not toxicity.
I went to a place way up in the jungle there called Moonlakwa. That's way up into Blanchard. And well, they were having fun. They cooked up a stone to welcome me there. I think I felt really special, but I wanted some water. And the old man said, I will bring water for you, man. And he went in the back in an old barrel and seems like he has all the stuff there. That was really tasting good.
Mm-hmm. Rainwater,
Heart of the chocolate.
rainwater, spring water.
Yeah, that was crazy. But the water that comes to the rock and stuff. I know some places in Malik where I went to arrange to have some of the stone boat, the kind of gray stone that they slice into like slices
That
of
comes
bread.
from the hills.
Yeah, those people up there had PVC pipes in the mountain there. Water was gushing like, how come we don't get that kind of water supply to buy or to drink? Where does that go? Just dump
Because
it
if you start to bottle that and sell it, there's a company called Wassa going to come down in your tail, and you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
So why was I don't collect the
Because
bottle and sell?
because they own all the water. When they were talking about that, and then people say that there's some kind of controversy that came up with that. I have some family members who have a place on the tippy top of the mountain. You know, that's where the bad man lives.
Yeah.
On the tippy top
Yeah.
of a particular mountain range in Trinidad with 3 lakes.
See?
3 lakes.
I went to top of about that. I didn't see a lake.
3 lakes.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
3. 1 is natural, 2 is man-made.
Okay.
And they pipe the water from the natural lake into the first lake. And from the first lake, the drop is about maybe 200 or 300 feet down to the next lake. More than that. Yeah, maybe more than that. And the pressure that water comes down with.
Yes.
And it's natural flowing, eh?
Yeah. No pumps, nothing.
No pump. You just put pipes and it catches the water and it comes down and it.
I mean, I saw water being pouring out of 2-inch pipe at that kind of pressure like fire hose.
It's exactly 2-inch pipe.
Yeah.
Exactly
And
that.
there's no way they can harness that.
No. 2-inch pipe into the 3rd lake. And that water is cool and delicious.
Yes. Yeah.
And a constant flow.
So people.
I have never been there and it does not have water. Never. It's not even low.
I tell you, I know.
And this is on the tippy top of the
Yeah, I
mountain.
experienced that. I wonder how come. You know.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So people.
It's the start of a particular river in Trinidad also.
Right. So people in
Up
that
there.
area should be, more on the healthy side of life and stuff.
Of course, they live a healthier life. They live a healthier life because you get the natural exercise because you're moving up and down these hills and whatnot. The foods that you eat in are different because whatever they grow around there is what they use for cooking and all that.
Less toxic atmosphere.
Yeah,
for the
less
grape
toxic
also.
atmosphere,
Yeah,
and the water is better.
You must know when you reach
Hey,
Santa Cruz and
you know what is the greatest, man?
Yeah.
To spend a night there and rain is falling. Rain always falling.
Not me. Not in the night. Well, I mean, I've been to Pyramid at the tip top of one of those hills where I had a family I used to go by.
Not in the
I
night.
love them great. But not one time the rain came in the night. But you're talking about that area that has a lot of jungle and thing, but the houses, Pyramid is this.
Well, up there they only have one house
Yeah.
for miles.
Yeah. And that was a nice experience. That was really nice.
But it is the best feeling in the world.
Yes, I agree with you.
We used to leave the bedroom and go out and sleep in the veranda, you know,
Yeah.
to get what you call the bouchar, and the spray of the rain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is it nothing better than that?
Yes, it's true. I know. A different, the air that you breathe, you feel like you be so nutrified when you
And the
take one
birds
deep
are
breath.
different color.
Yeah, yeah,
They are healthier and livelier. The animals look better up there.
yeah. All insects, everything.
Everything. Plants.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they thrive in sweet.
So why not? I miss going there. I have to tell my cousin.
Yeah, but I think Wasa should organize for us to have that kind of water, drinking water. Because sometimes I tell you, down on my side, when you get it, you're afraid to drink that. You need it, but you have to wait a very long while for it to settle.
Settle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
A lot of sediment. But that is not from the water, you know.
Yeah.
That's from the pipes that are there and old and rusted.
And when they don't turn
That
on-
is not the actual water what leaves wherever it leaving to come at you. No. It's not. Don't think that is what leaves the treatment plant. Could never be. Because remember, the water that goes into the treatment plant goes through a treatment.
Yeah.
So what leaves the plant would be good for human consumption. But by the time it reaches wherever it's going, well, I'll tell you something. Just as how your arteries has developed plaque and your stomach lining has developed this plaque also, which is food plaque, that sticks to the lining of your stomach. You ever cut an old plastic pipe what water is flowing through?
Yeah. Layers of different colors.
Correct.
Of sediments. Yeah. It's true.
Correct.
I do a little plumbing.
So if that could happen in a pipe that is smooth,
Yeah.
what happens to your stomach lining and what happens to your arteries? Let's think about it. And of course, food is particles. Blood has particles in it. Water doesn't have particles. Not supposed to.
Right.
But it still develops this muck around. Whether it be thick, thin, a very thin layer, but it's there. How come? And it's not wastewater that mixing with potable water.
So we touch on the pipe water, we touch on the water from the rocks, we touch on the water. What about this alkaline water that's is a new promotional water, advertising water? How you know?
I'm a piece of land to sell in the in Caroni Swamp. Let me know when you're ready to buy. Let me know when you're ready to buy the piece of land in Caroni Swamp and I'll explain everything to you.
They say alkaline water is the best water to drink now. I don't understand all that kind of marketing procedures to food.
Well, you use the right word.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to wake up in the morning and tell you, well, if you dip this stick in the water, it's going to be the best water to drink, and they sell you the stick.
Yeah.
The stick is $30 for one. Come and get the stick. It's a special stick from the jungle, way up in the Amazon, that these people use up there to stir their water, and they don't die. And I'll sell you a stick for $30.
Amazing.
But anytime you're ready to buy a piece of land, I'll sell it to you. There's a saying in Florida, you know, anytime they have those kind of things, they tell you, yeah, I have a piece of land to sell in the Everglades, man. Anytime you're ready to buy it.
I'll be guaranteed of 100% alkaline water.
If you think that is what it is, and you think that you should go and buy the special water in this plastic container, by all means, go and do it.
8 ounces of water or 8 glasses of water.
Drink water to your satisfaction, but don't again,
Can you
don't
overdrink?
underutilize. Yes, you could overdrink water. Right?
True.
There was one, not too long ago, 14, 15 years ago, somebody overdrank water and died in New York in Central Park.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
So,
You could overdrink water too. Like everything else, you got to know what works best for you.
but it's not easy to
But-
consume 8 glasses of water a day.
No, that's difficult for some people.
Yeah.
8 glasses of
I
water
try
is a lot.
drinking one. I have conditioned my mind to drink one at night time before I sleep and when I get up.
That's what I do. Make sure I do that.
Yeah.
And in between, I'll have water.
Mm-hmm.
And don't tell me you drink juice and tea and whatnot, and that's not drinking water.
Well, there's some people who don't do that at home.
No, but that's what they tell you there. I don't need to drink water, I drink juice and tea. Juice and tea is not water. But I'll tell you something about water that is excellent for you and the best thing for you, coconut water.
Yes, I agree with that. You know, I try having
Coconut
one
water.
when it's available now. Back in the day, everybody had one in the
Coconut water.
yard. We never used to.
I have 3 trees in my yard,
Hmm.
and I drink coconut water every day.
Yeah, that's very good. That's
I
very good.
love my coconut water.
Yeah. Where the detoxification is concerned, water is
Oh yeah, it helps you to
scale of 1 to
detoxify.
10, yeah.
It helps you to detox because you remove the toxin from your system. Water is not a detoxifying agent. You know. It removes the toxin from your system
Okay.
by passing it through the system. That's what you want to do, the liver filtration system in your body. So you want to do that. But one of the things I was going to mention, which we had mentioned a little bit earlier in the program, is supplementation.
Yes.
We overcook our foods.
Mhm.
Our foods are not prepared the best ways. There are things that some foods are lacking, but once you overcook food, you cook all the nutrients from the food. So that's one of the bad things that we do. We overcook our foods. So you need to supplement your foods. Now, some doctors will tell you, you don't need to take a nutritional supplement. I don't hold to that. I believe you should be taking a nutritional supplement. And you should take something that is consistent with what you need, consistent with your age. There are things that you need as you age. There are some supplements you should be taking, one in the morning and one in the evening,
Like
the afternoon.
Probiotics.
Probiotics is good, But if you're using things like yogurt or dahi every day, you don't need probiotics. Dahi is pure probiotics.
Well, there's yogurt and yogurt, isn't that?
Well, that's why I say dahi. Dahi is pure yogurt.
Where you
That is
get-
not processed yogurt. Pure yogurt. That's why you look for dahi. You go to any Indian store and you ask them for dahi, and that is what you drink. Now some people tell you they can't stomach it, but they will buy the yogurt and eat it.
Yeah.
You know the funny thing about people?
Flavor.
You
Flavor
put something
around.
artificial in the dahi, change the composition of the dahi, and they tell you they prefer to take that as opposed to a glass of dahi. There are people that ask me, how you just drink a glass of dahi? And I say like this, I didn't put sugar in it. There are people who put sugar in
So
it
you
to drink
can,
it.
you can go to the store and buy that?
Any Indian store
Yeah.
that worth its salt. Once it's a puja store, you'll get dahi. They must sell dahi. They sell dahi on the side of the road. Anybody who sells milk, they sell dahi. They sell dahi on the side of the road in some places. Faizabad and they have dahi on the side of the road.
How good is that for you?
Very good. Probiotics, very good for you. But there's some person who are lactose intolerant now. It's a new thing. Lactose intolerant. There's so many things we have become intolerant to.
Yeah.
So many things. All of a sudden, the intolerant, this is the intolerant, that, intolerant, the other. But dahi is very good for you. It's good for your skin. It's good for your digestive system. Very, very good.
What about the foods that men should eat to put on good work? Will you mention some? Melon.
No, I didn't tell you to put on good work. You see, you're putting words in my mouth.
Try it.
I told you, there are foods.
I tried.
There are foods that you can eat
Yeah.
to maintain good levels of testosterone. It doesn't make you put on good work. If you can't put on good work and you go and eat those foods, it's not going to make you put on good work.
Yeah. But isn't there any kind of food?
There are some things that people react to, yes.
Yeah.
There are some things that you will eat that you realize that you get a intensifying your libido, which is the sex drive. There are certain things that you will eat that you will find that you'll get a better erection. By all means, that works for you. What works for you may not work for me. Again, metabolic rate, genetics, and other factors. So what works for one person may not work for another person. There are persons who swear by certain things, but it may work for them and them only.
Supplements. How you differentiate the good from the bad in supplements? You know, like where there are capsules, and you said capsules, some of the hold in bay.
Learn to read.
Yeah.
Learn to read and differentiate. Some people could read, but they don't understand. Comprehension is a hell of a thing.
I know.
So you got to comprehend what you're reading. And you have to have at least a working knowledge of whatever you're going to purchase. Vitamin C is vitamin C. You have coated vitamin C, you have time-release vitamin C, you have different things. Its better thing is a time-release capsule or time-release tablet form, so that it releases over time in the body and it doesn't go into the system and you pass it out in urine. Same thing with a B complex. Your body needs a B complex. You should take a B complex. Some persons, they take a B complex at night, they can't sleep. So don't take it at night. Take it during the day.
Right.
You may need the energy during the day. It's like, some persons say they can't drink tea at night or coffee at night. And some person will drink coffee and go to sleep.
Yeah.
It all depends on the person's metabolic rate. So you must be able to differentiate what works for you and what does not work for you. But there are certain things that you should take. Every man should be taking zinc,
Zinc, how you get that?
capsule form or tablet form. There's something called Calmac zinc, calcium, magnesium, and zinc.
Okay, everybody should be using that. Every man. So
Yes.
let's say I've always been hearing that, and I decide to go buy up some zinc. What should I ask?
Just ask them what zinc supplement they have. You will have a range, maybe let me say 3 or 4 brands. And you may be particular to a particular brand. Let's say, for example, Solgar. Solgar is Weeder. Weeder has been around for donkey years, since before what time? That's a good brand. Now you might have a new brand on the market that might just be as good.
Over the counter stuff?
Over the counter. These are all over the counter stuff. There's nothing here you need a prescription for. Absolutely nothing you need a prescription for.
How do you, what kind of discipline you shall in taking that?
Regularly.
Once, twice, 3 times a day?
Once a day.
Once a day.
once a day at the particular time that your body is going to utilize it, which is at night. Certain supplements like DHEA and those things have to be used at night. You don't want to take it during the day.
What's good it's for?
Your body stops producing DHEA when you reach a certain age, which is around 40 years of age, and it's one of the ingredients that you need to function properly sexually. Garlic, for example. Garlic, you know, the old people always would show you or tell you have to crush a garlic. Do you know why? When you crush the garlic, the enzyme starts to bind. You get the full nutrients of the garlic. If you take a garlic pearl and pop it in your mouth, or you crush the garlic, it's two different garlic. There's something called galinase, which is a tablet form, which uses crushed garlic. Not chipped garlic or cut up garlic. It's crushed. If you crush a garlic, the skin comes off easily.
Yeah. That's true.
Comes off very easily, as opposed to if you go to peel it. It's a trick. The old people will tell you to do that, but they don't know why. But they know that's what you're supposed to do. Turmeric, what we call hardy. Good for you. Good for circulation. You get in an accident, they tell you to use hardy. They tell you to use aloes. Remove the clot blood from your body.
Yeah.
Circulation. Those are the little things that you should be using. Again, from natural foods, you could get it, you know. But if you can't get it in natural form, why not in a capsule form or a tablet form? But if you want to save money, get it in natural way.
Yeah.
The same way when people buy moringa in the pack, the powder. Go buy a neighbor and ask him if he has Saijan in the yard. He will show you, look at Saijan tree, they pick up a leaf you want.
Yes.
It's a fine, fine leaf.
Yes. I know
They
that.
peel it off like that.
Yeah, I have a tree. Yeah, I have a
Right?
tree, I have a-
Put it on your salad and eat it.
Yeah.
And believe me, that is one tree that's real growing.
Yes. The more you prune it, the more.
Don't let
it
this grow. Don't prune it.
Yeah, don't prune it.
If you prune it, you're in trouble.
Yes. I pruned it the other day, and Jesus, I said, my God, what happened to this tree? The whole tree just changed and come very, like it's
Green.
Yeah, green,
Like a iguana.
Like it just.
It does look like a iguana green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well, then
pruned
you know
it.
the tree. You know the
I
tree.
know the tree.
Right?
Sometimes I eat some of the seeds and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm telling you. So if you don't want to buy the bag of powder that costs you $300 and $400,
Yeah.
peel off the leaf. Somebody will have it. Somebody will have it.
The
in
first
their-
time, I mean, we were at a time now, and I wouldn't carry down that historical line, you know, but I like to chat with you, you know. I remember I saw the Ramlila celebration starting up at Taruba down in South Day. I always look at it. I like to know different cultures, so sometimes I pack up and I look at it, and you know, in reading the story, I realized when the Bacala started with Ram and Ram, and I think there was a Moringa field there. Where did it originate? Africa or India?
India.
That's where I first heard the
That's-
word
that's where it came from.
Moringa, you know?
Same thing. The same thing with mangoes.
Yes, I know mangoes came from India.
Yeah.
I was taught
Originated.
that by Dr. Joe. He told me
Oh no, that's where it came from.
about the
And we
introduction of
Trinidad have one of the largest varieties of mangoes in the world.
Yes, you go down see just now cutlass mango like we read.
Hey, yeah, boy, it's cutlass mango, boy. It's thing long like cutlass and yeah, boy.
And it's shaped just like
A
cutlass.
cutlass, yeah.
So it's a mixture of
No, but again, it doesn't matter where it originates, you know. The point is we have it here.
yes.
It came here with our forefathers.
Yeah.
Of course, those who came as slaves couldn't bring anything because you were chattel. You were considered to be an animal. Those who came under indentureship were allowed to bring certain seeds and
Yes,
whatnot.
yeah.
So they brought it with them.
Yeah.
And when the word got back and the other sets that were coming, because some were allowed to return,
Yeah.
and some returned and came back.
Yeah.
Because they said, nah, boy, India, you're mad.
I'm going back to Trinidad.
I going back to Trinidad, boy, Trinidad.
Yeah.
They fool them and tell them Trinidad, you know.
Yeah.
Chini means sugar.
Yeah.
The land of sugar.
Oh, okay.
Trinidad. So they say, well, why going back where the land of sugar? Boy, what? May you stay in here?
Yeah, but all in all, seeing that we come to the end of the program, I mean, a decent diet. I mean, no matter
A balanced diet, some
No matter
things
where
that
you
will satisfy you, not too much carbohydrates, a mixture with protein. You must put protein in your diet.
and
The new, and
zinc.
zinc for men, very important. Zinc is very, very important. Calcium, magnesium, and zinc. Now, if you're developing kidney stones, magnesium helps to dissolve it.
Okay.
Magnesium helps to dissolve those stones that you're talking about.
I think we mentioned really put some emphasis on how we eat these days, because I think there's too much of crazy stuff out there to be eaten, and being offered it. Even people who are jumping into the food business. I mean, everybody looking to earn some kind of income or something. But I think sometimes we have to be very careful and mindful of the
We have to be
preparation.
mindful of what we're doing today because it's going to impact on your life tomorrow. That's all.
Yeah, that's very important. That's
Even the guys that, like, I was talking to a friend of mine and he was saying that, they have these guys going around to all these business places and factories and whatnot who have these things in a bag for the boy.
Yeah.
You're asking for a thing for the boy.
Yeah.
I say, I'm glad when they sell it. So he's like, why? I say, because they have to come by me for treatment after. And I tell them whatever the money they spend on that, be prepared to spend 10 to 100 times that money to fix yourself.
Yeah.
So go ahead and spend the money on it
Yeah, that's a crazy.
and spoil yourself. When you spoil, you're coming by Dr. Raj. If you're foolish enough to do it,
Yeah.
and there are people who are foolish enough to do it, and it will work for a while, and they will need to use more or something different, fine, go ahead. Go ahead. When you come and face me, I'm not going to charge you because I know you did that,
Yeah.
You'll have to spend that money to fix yourself. Whatever you spent on that, between 10 to 100 times, that's what you have to spend now to fix yourself. But everybody looking for a quick fix.
Yeah.
And if you want a quick fix,
Of course.
it would not happen. You have to go through the mill. You have to do exactly what you're supposed to do. Nutrition is one of the things that you have to be paying attention to.
Exactly, because the guys who are looking to have children and stuff,
But if
you see the results of when the children are born.
But you're talking about being diabetic and drinking something filled with sugar every day.
Yeah. Madness. That is total madness.
Total madness.
Yeah, I hardly even use sugar. Did you see my bag, Raj? I feel good.
You're storing no fat. Anyway, we have reached the end of our
Yes,
program.
it's been a
Thank you very
wonderful
much for
experience, yes.
joining us,
Yes.
and see you again next week.
Yes, thank you. Tomorrow, you'll be back with. You're not coming tomorrow.
Yeah, I have a program.
You mean with me?
Yeah, with
All
you.
right. Yeah, I appreciate that.
This explosion.
Yes, man, I appreciate that.
And
man.
this explosion with him is a different explosion.
I quite
That man
agree.
easy there,
Yeah.
Yeah, what? When he ready and he start to pelt question at you and thing. I had a friend talking to me the other day. She said, I started to sound like Junior. She telling me she started to sound like Junior. She listening to me too much, Junior.
Dr. Raj, it's been a pleasure once again. And I look forward to next Thursday. Yeah, Sexplosion at Power 102.1 FM. Family's up next, and he too will be with Dr. Raj tomorrow for the Friday experience. An awesome, exotic experience.
9 to 12.
Highly provocative. When from when?
9 to 12.
Provocative from 9 to 12.
Yeah, man. Sex.
That's Dr. Raj, exclusive to Power 102.1 FM. Do get home safely or to your destination safely, and be good. God's willing, I'll be back with you on Sunday.
My family is.
Power
Hey, we're back, huh?
empowering you.
Everyone, this is Marisha.
Yes, Marisha. Nice meeting you.
My big brother.